How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, both testing positive for the virus. Of course, there is a backstory here. We'll get to that before we get to the reaction from the mainstream media, reaction from the blue check mafia on Twitter, and also some of the regular normies all over the internet, which is predictably pretty negative. Although there is some positive feedback from this, they're saying, hey, get well soon. Prayers out to the president. That's a good thing, but we'll get to that a little bit later. To the backstory, the president has been traveling, obviously. He went to the debate on Tuesday, and that was in Cleveland, Ohio. Then he had a rally on Wednesday in Duluth, Minnesota. And earlier Thursday, he was at his or just a random golf course for a fundraiser. Now, of course, when you're traveling, you'll have staff with you. It won't just be the president by himself on the plane. You'll have Secret Service, who'll have his wife there. You may have the vice president and his wife. You're going to have staff that come from the White House. And one of the staffers that traveled with him was Hope Hicks. Now, Hope Hicks at one point, I think, was the White House communications director. But at this particular point, she is a senior advisor in Trump's campaign. So she had symptoms sometime on Thursday. Now, as a result of that, she got tested for the virus and it came back positive. So since she was traveling with the president, and I presume the first lady and others, the president and the first lady had to get tested and it came back positive, unfortunately. Now, I don't think they're symptomatic at all, because if they had any kind of symptoms, there would have been the test before Hope Hicks became symptomatic. Now, they could be pre-symptomatic, meaning they have the virus and they're still in the early stages before they have any symptoms, or they may not have any symptoms at all. They may just have the virus, not have any symptoms, and then before they know it, the virus is not there anymore. I don't really know how it's going to play out, but they have tested positive for the virus. What does this mean? They're going to quarantine for a while. Not really sure how long, maybe 10 to 14 days. I think it's 10 days now. And they'll be on some kind of medication. I presume it'll be hydroxychloroquine. That's what I presume. And before YouTube tries to flag me or something like that, don't do that, because Trump already said publicly that he had been on it before as a prophylactic, meaning a preventative measure. I don't know why they stopped that measure. They should have kept doing it. If he did not have any kind of adverse reaction to the medication earlier in the year, he should have kept on taking it. I don't think it's in the system anymore, because obviously he has a virus, number one, and number two, that was quite a while ago. But since he was on it, he should be able to take it again and not have any kind of problems. And I believe that Melania was probably on it as well back then, and she didn't have any problems. So I think that'll probably be their go-to, hydroxychloroquine, to be able to beat the virus. They're catching it early. He had it before, no adverse effects. Go ahead and take that with your zinc and all that good stuff, and you'll be pretty much good to go, okay? And it's not just me saying it. There are doctors saying it, and there are doctors that operate within the White House that gave him the HCQ to begin with. That's how he was on the regimen. He didn't just go out there in the street and get it. He was prescribed it, took it as a preventative measure, and I'm sure that they'll take it again and they'll go ahead and beat the virus. And I think by the next debate, which is October the 15th, he'll be prepared. There's another debate coming up here on this coming Tuesday between the vice president and Kamala Harris. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Mike Pence and his wife Karen have both tested negative for the virus, so they don't have it. The president and the first lady will be in quarantine, so there won't be any contact in between them. I think they'll be totally fine. So that debate will go on as scheduled. And also, everyone that's around the president gets tested every day. So I don't know how Hope Hicks and her positive test got through the daily testing. Maybe the rapid daily testing is not very accurate. You may have a false negative or a false positive. Remember, this is kind of a new virus. Although it's a coronavirus, and we've seen coronaviruses before, maybe the strain of it is new and it's too new to be detected with 100% certainty. Either way it goes, Hope Hicks has it. She was symptomatic. She'll be under quarantine, getting medication or whatever. Trump and Melania have it. They've not exhibited symptoms, but I think they'll be pretty much good. However, there is a lot of reaction from the media, a lot of negative reaction. A lot of blue check mafia people. First of all, I'll talk about the media. I'm looking for articles about this whole thing, and I come across CNN. And what you're having on a lot of these so-called news websites are opinion articles written as legitimate information that comes up first in a carousel of results. Okay, if you're on Google looking for articles, you should see some really highly respected news sources at the top. At this particular point in time, I'm not really sure what a respected news source is anymore. The AP and Reuters used to be pretty legitimate and pretty respectable, but now that's kind of eroded. It's hard to find any kind of legitimate news sources, but I saw an article from CNN about this whole thing, and it was Brian Stelter himself writing it, talking about, he was irresponsible. It's like, man, I ain't trying to hear your particular opinion about wearing masks, not wearing masks. Oh, and on the issue of masks, you're going to see the mainstream media, blue check mafia, normies on Twitter and everywhere else on the internet talk about, oh, Trump should have wore a mask. That's what you get. Ha, ha, ha. But see, the thing about it is doctors have already said, including Fauci himself, that the mask, first of all, is not that effective. Okay, if you look at virologists, when they're in the lab, they got on whole hazmat suits to deal with viruses. So you think their hazmat suit is the equivalent to your cloth bandana or into whatever the number is mask? Is that what you really think? I mean, come on, let's be serious. All right, your mask with your logo on it ain't gonna do that much. The most that it can do is block droplets from escaping your mouth and landing on someone else, therefore possibly transmitting the virus. And Hope Hicks, who allegedly might have been patient zero in this whole kerfuffle, was religiously seen wearing the mask. She always wear a mask. There's a picture of her on the plane, I think, with Trump wearing the mask and socially distanced. So what more are you really going to be able to do? People that have worn masks, that quarantine, that did all that good stuff, still wind up catching the virus. Okay, so the mask is not even that effective, nor is it the end all be all of any kind of thing you could do to prevent from catching it. All you can do really is just never leave your house again. Just stay in your house and don't even have any kind of dealings with the outside world. I'm talking about not getting food delivered, not getting a newspaper delivered, not doing anything. You can't even really get in your car and drive around because if you got your window down, somebody might be coughing and then they say your spit can jump like 35 feet or whatever it is. Some kind of insane, crazy Space Jam, alien vertical. You understand what I'm saying? You can jump from Mars and hit Earth with a slam dunk with accurate precision. That's kind of what they're saying as it relates to this whole virus and what it does. Either way it goes, there's no 1000% effective way to be able to prevent from getting it. And if you get it, let's look at the actual survival rates, shall we? 99.9%. Okay. And if you catch it early, you're able to get it out of there with proven and effective and safe medication. Hydroxychloroquine is an old medication, been around since what, World War II? So you're talking about the 1940s. They're trying to prescribe remdesivir, a drug that's very expensive, experimental, that you got to shoot up, versus hydroxychloroquine. You could take it through a tablet. It's cheap. It's generic. Been around for a long time. Been safe. You got guys that are in the government right now that say that they took it after they got the virus and it was all good. Guys in government. So if guys in government are able to get it and it's fine from their doctors, then why can't the regular American people? Why must that knowledge be hidden? All right. Regular normies on Twitter, blue check mafia, they're trying to wish death on the president, talking about I hope he dies, all this and that. First of all, you might get a visit from Secret Service or the FBI. They might come to your job and say, hey, okay, I'm looking at your Twitter right now. There's some really disturbing statements. Do you have anything you want to say about that? Matter of fact, say less. Come with me. We'll have a little chat in the car that's all blacked out. And matter of fact, put on the shield so you can't see where you're going. Okay? You might wake up and Gitmo making big rocks into little rocks. I don't want to have that kind of drama on my back. And I wouldn't say anything like that anyway about the president. I hope and pray that he's going to be all right. Same thing with the first lady and everyone else that has the virus. I think they'll be just fine. 99.9% survival rate. You know what the drugs are. You got access to the best doctors in the country. You'll be just fine. And I think the leftists media, the blue check mafia, and just regular haters of Trump, they're going to be faced with a weird situation when he recovers, when he beats the virus, him and Melania, and they say, hey, we took hydroxychloroquine and we were fine. We ain't had no symptoms or nothing. And Trump's 74 years old. So what are you going to do when he says something like that? When he has personal testimony of taking the drug and having that cure him of the virus or lessen the virus's effectiveness? What are we going to say then? What are they going to say then? We're going to say, bravo, congratulations, you did it. You know what you were talking about. What will the other side, what will the critics and the haters say? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the president and the first lady will be just fine? And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. Or is it going to be pretty serious? Is it going to be dangerous? I mean, 99.999% survival rate and everything being fine. Will it be somehow a dangerous event? What will the effect of this diagnosis have on the country and the world? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at with it. I think they'll be just fine. They'll take the medication that they're going to be prescribed, hydroxychloroquine and the Z-Pack, the same thing that we know always works. And I think after they beat it with a particular therapeutic, that might be the vaccine. How about that? Operation Warp Speed. Well, we're going to have Warp Speed right now. When they beat it in 2 weeks or however long it takes, they're going to say, all right, this is what we took. Y'all take it. It'll work just fine. All right, it'll be safe and it'll be effective. That is my hope and my wish. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.